on in my kitchen. It's spring, finally. And you know what that means? Rosé season is here. Saluti a tutti. What's your favorite clam chowder? You don't have to tell me, I already know. 9 out of 10 people, the white one. I love it. That's what we're doing today, New England clam chowder. Although back in high school, me and Tim, we used to sit up in my room over the garage, away from the rest of the house, and blast Beatle albums all night, chronologically, from the first to the last. We'd stay up all night. But we had a little gag we used to pull with each other. One guy would say, and this is like 4:30 in the morning, we're up to like, I don't know, maybe Rubber Soul, I don't know, maybe Sgt. Pepper's. A little bit of an altered state going on, I'll say, I'll leave it at that. But one guy would turn to the other and go, dude, what's your favorite Beatle album, man? We knew the answer, it was a stock thing, but it never got old. So the other guy would say, whichever one's on, man. And I kind of feel that way about clam chowder. If it's a well-made Manhattan clam chowder, Rhode Island. I had one on Block Island many years ago that knocked my socks off. But most people, the combination of bacon, dairy, fresh thyme, clams, you really can't beat it. So we're going to do a New England clam chowder today. I give it a little twist, so maybe it's a Hudson Valley clam chowder. So let's go take a look at what we're going to put in this, and let's get moving on it. Here's everything we need for this New England clam chowder. Well, let's call it Hudson Valley clam chowder, because I got a little surprise in there. Of course, to start, 4 strips. Nitrate-free, uncured. Somebody asked me this morning, actually, do you make your clam chowder with bacon? And I always answer honestly. I said yes. You can make it without the bacon, but why would you? This is 3 tablespoons of butter. In this case, that beautiful homemade butter. It's my latest craze. I may never buy butter again. I got 3 little red potatoes, some fresh thyme. I had to purchase this thyme. I hate buying herbs, but soon enough, they're coming. I got 1 nice onion, 3 cups of half and half. Now, usually you would use clam juice, or there's recipes out there, they just say water. This is about 2/3, 1/3. I got about 2, it's 1.5 cups. So I got about a cup of water, and then I had this beautiful lobster stock in the freezer from when Laura and I had lobsters this summer. So I used a half a cup of the lobster stock and 1 cup of water. It's a beautiful blend. Yeah, that's gonna work. That's gonna work killer. And then of course it's clam chowder, and this was the impetus for this. I was shopping at my favorite market, and they have an awesome fish counter, and they had the fresh shucked clams on sale. I mean, it's better when Paulie V digs them with his feet in Long Island and drives them to my house, but you do what you gotta do. So nice fresh shucked clams. Salt, black pepper. That's the beeps walking through, that little clickety-clack. So here's why we're calling it Hudson Valley clam chowder instead of New England. I'm going to add a little of that rosé that we opened the show with. I don't think it can hurt, can it? Alright, I'm going to prep everything up. I'll see you guys at the stove. Okay, let's get started. Here's all those things that you saw on the board. Prepped up and ready to go. Mise en place, right? Get everything ready to go. You'll have so much more fun at the stove. And I prepped everything up. Here on Come On in My Kitchen, we don't waste your time. You're gonna sit there and watch me chop onions? You got better things to do than that. Alright, I got my pot. Let's get the heat on. going to start with the bacon. I cubed it up. I just kind of cut it up. 4 strips. Going to render that off. Okay, look at this. Our bacon's not crunchy, not crispy, but almost crispy. That's the stage you want it at. You don't want to overcook this. And look, we got some fond on the bottom. Almost caramelized proteins from the bacon. That's where that rosé is going to come in handy. Alright, so the bacon's not crispy, but it's almost cooked. It's time to throw in our onion. And you know, you're going to see a lot of recipes for clam chowder. If you look it up, they're going to say, you know, crisp off your bacon and then pull it out, like with a slotted spoon. And then, I got 2 problems with that. Here's the thing. You're going to pull it out, right? What are you going to put it in? So now you got a slotted spoon to wash, and you got whatever little dish or you put it in. And the second issue I have with that, you're taking it out, and then you're going to put it back in? What the hell is the point of that? Now, like I said, we got some fond on the bottom of that pot. This is where the rosé is going to come in handy. Crank up my heat. Gonna start deglazing all that good stuff off the bottom of that pot. Scrape it up with your spoon. Okay, I deglazed up a bunch of that bacon fond with my rosé. So now I'm gonna add in our water or stock. Again, you can do this just with water. You know, if you had those good Paulie chowder clams, you would have a lot of juice from shucking those babies. So ideally you would use the clam juice. I used 1 cup of water and a half a cup of my lobster stock. Toss in the potatoes. I'll bring this up to a boil, and then I'm going to cover it and turn it down and let that simmer about 15-20. Let those potatoes cook real nice. But first, fresh thyme. Bacon and thyme, I used to play music at Gadaletto's restaurant way back when Chef John was there. Crazy times, man. After the restaurant closed and the window shades got drawn. But Chef John used to make an oyster chowder that knocked me to the floor. And it was all about that bacon thyme combo with the fresh shucked oysters. So this is sort of my homage to that. I kind of picked that up from him. Let's bring that to a boil, turn it down, and let it simmer away. But first, of course, season. A little salt, cracked black pepper. Man, just the aromas now. Bacon, onion, potato, thyme, that lobster stock. And by the way, some people might notice the omission of celery. Yes, you can use celery with this. But I'm going semplice. I like the simpleness of just the onion with the thyme and bacon. So no celery in this chowder. We're at a boil. I'm going to drop that. Got my camera too close, fogging up the lens on you guys. I'm going to pop the cover on this. I like to leave a little escape hatch and give that 15 or so. Let those potatoes get nice. I took the cover off. This has been simmering about, I don't know, maybe 20 minutes. Potatoes are nice and al dente, creamy on the inside, but they still have a bite to them. That's how I like it. And I did taste it. It's pretty awesome. And we haven't even added our fats yet. And you know what the old adage states. Fat is flavor. So let's go for it. 3 cups of half and half. And I know what some of you people are thinking out there. Geez, bacon, half and half butter. This is not a very healthy dish. Well, here's the thing. I'm eating this, you're not. So what do you got to worry about? That buttermilk, that homemade butter. That's my newest kick, man. Okay, now the thing with New England clam chowder, there's a thing about the thickness, right? I'm personally not a giant fan of those ones that are like all starchy and I don't know. It's like a bowl of cement or something. But you also don't want it too watery. So what I'm doing, I don't use any flour, by the way, in this for a thickener, but I'm taking a few of those potatoes and smashing them with the spoon against the side of the pot. And that'll add a little starch into the soup. But I don't like those ones that are all caked up, man. Alright, I think it's time to add our clams with their liquor. It's going to add that extra clam flavor at the end. It already tastes amazing. Alright, let's give it a taste for salt and pepper. Damn, that butter melted in with the cream. A little salt. I want it to taste like the sea, man. Some cracked pepper. Get a new spoon here. Be dipping that tasting spoon in and out of your pot. Let's see what we got. That's done. Let's bowl it up. Alright, we're done. Tasted for salt, pepper. The thing is, you can have a nice bowl of chowder soup like this. Get yourself a bowl that you really like. These are from Vincenzo. Alright, New England, or more specifically Hudson Valley clam chowder. Now one thing that wasn't on my ingredients list, that's more or less like an afterthought, but I throw it on almost everything that comes out of this kitchen. Fresh chopped parsley. How can you go wrong with that with a clam chowder? What would be crazy on top of this would be those homemade oyster crackers. But I'm fresh out. So, there you go. That gives me a new episode. So let's see. Yeah, that's the consistency I like, man. It's a soup. It's got some nice light liquid, but you got your chunks, bacon, potato, clams, fresh thyme, clam chowder. Who doesn't like it? It's hot. Potatoes are perfect, man. You want a little bit of tooth on them, and then that creamy inside. Little cubes of bacon that we didn't take out and put back in. They're not all crispy and crunchy. They're cooked with the soup, as they should be. Clams, man. They were one of my father's favorite things. One of his patients used to pay him in bushels of clams. That's what it was like back in the day. I gotta go, man. This is crazy. Thanks for coming to my kitchen. By the way, with this, a small green salad, bowl of chowder, you're done. Catch you next time.